Warning, this is an M-rated game, so viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, it's time for another Wiiviewer After Dark. Or it's also been called Super Sexy Wii Game Review Time. I guess it would now be Super Sexy WiiU Game Review Time. But basically these are the reviews that are a little too sexually charged for normal Wii games. So I thought I'd celebrate doing another one of these with a nice bottle of something. But since I don't drink wine, really, I thought I'd do something else. So, 10 years ago, I held a bottle of Coke, thinking that since wine ages well, why not Coke? So, what do you say we open? Dang, a lot of dust. What do you say we open this thing up and find out? Good year. Gotta be very careful with the pour. All right. Shall we set the mood? There we go. Yay! There will be fire! All right. So what do you say we now review Bayonetta 2? Oh my god, it's awful. Hey, the candle's still lit though. God. I think I taste mold. Ugh, God. Bayonetta 2. Now this might be the second of the series, but this is the first time I've ever played any of them in the series. And I have to say, it was crazy, but fun. There were plenty of times where I was wondering what in the world was going on, but that didn't take away my enjoyment I had. Now the story is about Bayonetta going on a quest to go to hell. Literally, she's trying to get to hell to save her friend who has died and gone there. There was more to this story, but honestly, I had problems understanding or really paying attention to it. What I mean is they give you this whole backstory in the beginning of the game, but they're also having you fight while you're doing it. So there's nothing like, in the beginning there was a... so busy trying to fight off all the enemies and like, and the stones came down, and oh no, and God said, it's like, I can only do one or the other. Either tell me the story or have me battle. Don't do both. It's so extremely hard to try and figure out the controls while you're trying to pay attention to the story. And really, learning the controls took the precedent. Now, the story through the game is progressed through cutscenes, which were both live and static. I didn't quite understand why they did it both ways. If they were trying to do a comic book vibe, they should have just done static shots. But if they're going for more of a movie vibe, then do the fluid action shots. It felt like they ran out of money for the cutscenes and decided to cheap out occasionally. It's not really a bad thing, but when it changed all of a sudden, it kind of felt a little jarring. Like, oh, I was looking forward to these live shots. Now you meet quite a few interesting characters in the game. Some of them seem to know her from, I assume, the first game. They did a good job of letting you know their backstory without going into too much detail. Now I knew this was an M-rated game, but the sexually charged gameplay just shocked me. Bayonetta really loved taking off her clothes. And I was like dumbfounded the first time when she did a Sailor Moon transformation into her costume by blowing her clothes away. And then all of a sudden being wrapped up in her tight-fitting costume. Those were not the only moments where her clothes took vacations. Also when she does a final summons against a boss, they go tearing away from her. Almost like the magic was coming from her glorious boobies. The gameplay consists of you going through different locations and fighting enemies that attack you. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it. Because Bayonetta is a witch, she can perceive the world differently, which means the world will look weird and twisty at times. Most of the time, the places that you go to feel like way stations to other fights, instead of real locations that you're visiting, and that was disappointing. Now this is a button masher, or at least it was for me. She carries multiple weapons on her. Even her shoes have guns, so she's packed to the nines. Different button presses will attack in different ways. Plus, multiple button presses will do more complicated moves. Plus, you can get new weapons in the store if you don't want to use the normal ones that they give you. As you fight the enemies, you'll fill up a gauge, and when it gets full enough, you can choose to unleash a more powerful attack called the Umbran Climax. This was really useful on many of the boss battles that you had to fight, as it really did help taking the boss's life down. Also, dodging attacks is critical in this game, as if you do it correctly, you'll go into a slow motion mode called Witch Time, which you can use to attack the enemies for more damage. Each of the battles that you fight are graded at the end, so it gives you a good gauge on how well you're doing dispatching the enemies. If you're getting low scores or high damages, you might want to adjust the way that you're approaching the fights. The levels are broken down into chapters, which last about 10 to 40 minutes. If I had to complain about the level designs, I would say that sometimes they would get turned around. Levels would sometimes change as you move through them, so it was easy to get lost. but usually it doesn't take that much time to write yourself in the right direction, so this is only like a minor complaint. There were plenty of boss fights in this game. Sometimes you would need to wait for certain sections to appear in order to weaken the boss, or certain parts of the level needed to be finished first. But most of the time the bosses had weak spots near where you're currently situated, so that was convenient. There are different difficulty levels and different paths in the levels if you like a challenge. If you're interested in the story, you could just do the easy difficulty, or if you prefer battles in the game, you could ramp up the difficulty. And there's a battle arena place where you can fight people to give yourself more of a challenge. Plus you can also fight enemies in an online mode as well. Bayonetta 2 was really fun. Now I did have to play this in small chunks because my fingers would ache after pushing the button so many times. However, unlike most button mashers, there is quite a lot of strategy while fighting the many bad guys you come across. Graphically, the game looks stunning. It rivals some of what Nintendo has been putting out. The best part is that if you buy this game, you'll also get the original game as an added bonus. So if you've never played that game, you also get that game as well. This is an easy recommendation because I really enjoyed this title, so I think it's totally worth a buy. Well, that's my review of Bayonetta 2. Why don't you check out my previous review of Underground? Or you can check out my classic review of Sexy Poker. Like always, thanks for watching and please subscribe.